Are Utah Cougars in danger? A prehistoric discovery in Zion National Park, and a St. George man heads to the World Coffee Roasting Championships.
You're watching St. George News at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Amy Bennett. Residents of St. George spoke out on the proposed bond for the trails, parks, and recreation last Thursday during a city council meeting. Here's Maury Kessler with more on the story.
A handful of St. George residents spoke for and against a proposed $29 million bond for parks, trails, and recreation that the city is hoping will be approved by voters in November's general election. The 25-year bond would replace a similar one approved by voters in the mid-1990s that has provided fundings for various recreation-related projects since that time and will expire this year. The proposed bond would fund over 30 new projects the city has outlined that includes new additions and improvements to existing facilities, as well as the construction of new ones. Some residents spoke against the bond, saying the city should not be borrowing money at a time of economic uncertainty, while also telling council members that they should manage the city's budget better. Conversely, supporters of the bond said it is an investment in the quality of life the people of St. George enjoy now and into the future, as outdoor recreation is known to promote mental and physical wellness, while also having an economic benefit to the community as well.
Thanks, Maury. Many hunters know that earlier this year, Utah legalized year-round permitless cougar hunting and trapping. But some conservationists are worried that this could have many negative impacts. Here's Alicia Lundgren with the story.
Does Utah's new cougar hunting law violate the state's constitution? The Mountain Lion Foundation and the Western Wildlife Conservancy say yes. The two nonprofits filed suit against the state last Thursday, saying that the law is harmful and unconstitutional. The groups say Utahns' right to hunt and fish would be violated if cougars were overhunted in the state, unsustainably reducing their numbers. The Utah Division of Wildlife Resources, the Utah Wildlife Board, and the Utah Department of Natural Resources and its executive director were named as respondents in the suit. The DWR released a statement noting that cougars are still a protected species in Utah, and there are still restrictions in place. Additionally, division biologists will continue monitoring the species to analyze the new law's impacts and recommend changes if necessary.
Thanks, Alicia. And as daylight savings time comes to an end, the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources reminds drivers to be careful while on the roads and always look out for deer or other animals. If you see an animal on or near the road, don't swerve if it's a deer or another small animal. Slow down and make sure to stay in your lane. If there are several animals blocking the road, do not try and drive around them. Stay in your car, honk the horn, and flash your lights until they move. Once an animal has crossed the road, continue to drive slowly because the animal may get startled and cross again. A prehistoric discovery has been uncovered in Zion National Park recently. Stephanie DeGraw has the story on the once aquatic relic.
St. George Dinosaur Discovery Site officials say a prehistoric 200 million-year-old fish has been uncovered in Zion National Park. The lobe-finned fish has descendants alive today. Paleontologist and curator of the St. George Dinosaur Discovery Site, Andrew Milner, had this to say.
So this is a partially associated coelacanth skull from Zion National Park. It's on what rocks called the Whitmore Point member of the Monabe Formation. So it's around 200 million years old. It represents a freshwater lake, and it's equivalent in age to the site where the museum is constructed. And here you can see this bone here is called the cleithrum, which supports the back of the gills and the pectoral fins. This bone here is called the operculum, which is the gill cover, like you see on the side of a fish. And then there's other small skull bones, including this really nice one, probably from the skull roof.
Thanks, Stephanie. Jesse Banks sat down with the King of Coffee as he prepares to represent St. George and the entire United States in the World Coffee Roasting Championships.
St. George resident Andrew Coe is the current U.S. coffee roasting champion, and he's about to represent the United States at the upcoming World Coffee Roasting Championships in Taipei, Taiwan.
I'm super excited to just go and represent the U.S. and roast coffee to best of my ability and see how I rank against the world's best.
What started out as a roasting hobby at home has won him multiple competition titles. And as the owner of Elevator Coffee, he plans to open up a coffee-centered cafe in St. George.
I'm hoping to just bring our sort of modern coffee roasting style to the city, and hopefully people really like it.
Thanks, Jesse. And now I'm going to send it over to Aaron Crane to give us the breakdown of what happened this past week in sports.
Thanks, Amy. The first round of the 4A state football playoffs is over, and 2 Region 9 teams have been eliminated, as 4 move on to the second round. Dixie beat Logan 55-13, and the Flyers were getting everyone involved as 6 different Flyers had at least 1 touchdown. The Flyers are now headed up north to play the number 3 seed Park City. Desert Hills beat Hurricane 49-20. Thunder quarterback Garrett Grondell beat his former team for the second time this season, throwing for 2 touchdowns and running for another. Thunder now head to Snow Canyon for their second round matchup. And Cedar ended Pineview season beating them 34-23. The Reds now look to upset the number 2 seed Crimson Cliffs this Friday. In the 4A state volleyball tournament, every Region 9 team has advanced to the second round. Dixie beat Tooele 3-1 and now faces the number 1 seed Orem. Crimson Cliffs beat Uinta 3-0 and now plays Desert Hills. Snow Canyon plays Hurricane after sweeping Murray, and Cedar plays Stansbury. All these matches are happening this Wednesday. Now back to you, Amy.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. I'm Amy Bennett with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5.